What do Tom Hanks, the Polar Express, and a series of staff pranks have in common?
I don't know, Celeste. What do they have in common?
At our school, they become the ultimate recipe for spreading laughter, joy, and maybe a little bit of terror. Join us as we share the hilarious tale of how a cardboard cutout of America's favorite actor, Tom Hanks, became the unexpected star of our school and taught us all a lesson about the power of joy and connection.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Teachers on the Loose, the podcast where we turn teacher tales into belly laughs and life lessons. I'm Celeste.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Allison.
And I'm Kelsey.
Today, we will be sharing the story of the day a celebrity came to school.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's right, Celeste. But before we get started, we want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in to our podcast every week and listening. And last week when we were sharing about how we accidentally set off the fire alarm just by trying to turn the book into life.
We also, you guys, we got fact checked.
What?
Wow. So you remember in the last episode, we had to evacuate the building because of all the fog smoke and the fire department came.
Yeah, harmless
Well,
little oopsie.
Yeah. Well, we said that the fire department didn't have to check the building because our principal shared the source and all was good.
Yeah.
No. That wasn't correct.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I think we didn't realize this part because we were all outside with our
On the field,
students.
yes.
Yeah, on the field. But the fire department came and they did search and check the entire school
Oh, no.
and had a long chat with our principal.
Oh, no.
Like a long chat, like, hey, that was really funny?
Hey, that was not really funny. Don't do that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know, guys, I think that this is just another example of, like, we don't get to see all of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And how our principal went to bat for us that
She
day.
sure did.
Yeah.
She did. We love you.
We had a lot of fun with that, and we hope that you enjoyed it. But Celeste, you had said that this was your husband's favorite episode, right?
Yeah, so funny story. We were in the kitchen the other night putting a bookshelf together for my office, and he was like, hey, Alexa, play the podcast Teachers on the Loose.
I love it.
I started laughing. I'm like, you seriously want to listen to that? He's like, oh my gosh, I love listening to you guys. Yeah, let's listen to it. So we listened to that episode, and when it finished, he goes, I think that was my favorite episode. And so, of course, the coach in me, I'm like, tell me more. What did you like most about it? And he goes, I don't know. I just felt like I was there with you guys, and I could picture the hallway being filled with smoke. And like when the sirens went off, I was like, oh, saw that one coming when the fire trucks are on their way. So, yeah, Kristen, how did your family react?
Well, first of all, I love that all of our families are supporting us and listening to all of our podcasts. Although I have to admit, one time I did kind of force my family to listen. We were on a road trip coming home. It was about a 5.5-hour road trip, so they had to listen. They didn't have a choice. So anyways, my oldest son, he was listening also to the fire alarm episode, and he was laughing so hard. I guess, when he thinks mom goes to work, it's all serious business, but little does he know, sometimes we're up to no good.
Most of the time.
Sometimes.
Most of the time, you're right.
I put it on in our car one day with my kids too, and they were just like, what? Is that your voice? They were just like blown away that mom's on the car radio. Well, let's jump back into today's episode and the story of how a cardboard cutout of Tom Hanks became honorary member of our school. Okay, but first, how, when, why, how did he show up?
Well, I think it's because when I was on the first grade team, we were going to do a Polar Express party, and we wanted to be extra. Imagine that.
Of
right?
course.
So first grade team was like, how can we bump it up a little bit? And so I got this big, tall Tom Hanks cardboard cutout of him wearing his little conductor hat and his little mustache. And
Yeah, he's
his
like
outfit.
6 foot tall.
Yeah,
right?
like life size. And so he comes, and I have him in my classroom. And I wanted to see like what he actually looked like and how to assemble him. And so I took him out of the box and I set him up. But he's made out of cardboard, and I thought if I keep taking him down and putting him back up, he's probably going to get worn out. So I just wanted to keep him upright. But at the time, I was out in the modular where I didn't have like a closet or anything to store him in. And I didn't want the kids to see him before the big party.
Definitely can't ruin the surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
So the obvious place to put him then would be to put him in the staff bathroom.
Right.
So that, you know, he could just stand up behind the door kind of and nobody would even notice, right? Mm-hmm. But fast forward like a couple of hours later, I have to go to the bathroom and I go in and I open the door and the mirror is facing me and I just see the reflection of Tom Hanks staring at me and I screamed so loud because there was a man in the bathroom. I just wasn't expecting that.
But wait, so you scared yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I scared myself. So then I was like, well, that was super fun. We should probably continue this. So from there, we had some fun with Tom Hanks before we even had the little party with the kids. And so it just became of
Fun or
fun.
terror?
Probably a little bit of both, depending on the person, really. Fun for the person who was hiding it, terror for the person who found it. But then they turned it into fun because then they would share it with somebody else. Like I think it's been in all of your guys' spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple times.
Yes.
And so we would show up early to school and hide him just wherever we felt like for the day. He would show up in people's closets, in their classrooms. He was in windows. And I think that's when we first started hearing screams early in the morning.
Yes.
Down the hallway.
Yes, it is.
Well, my favorite after that is then you'd see like somebody have Tom under their arm, like
Running.
huffing down the hallway, trying to find a new place to hide him.
Well, we should probably admit that, you know, it wasn't the best way for everyone to start their day off like that, getting scared, your heart racing. So we tried to be mindful of whose classroom we put it in. And one thing we're like, okay, if they're pregnant, that was a big no-no.
That was off limits, yes.
Our custodian ended up not having nice words to say about Tom every time. Every time they would see us walking down the hall with Tom, it was like, again, like, where are you guys taking him now?
Well, and I think, wasn't he like in the window of
Yes.
like in the special ed department? So when you would walk between the building, like the building and the
playground.
modular.
And the playground.
and
Oh,
the-
yeah.
And you would walk by and you would just see his
That's not
Like,
freaky at all.
like
At
the
night.
outline of a man
Yes.
standing there looking out the window at night. It was scary. And so I get that.
Yeah, that probably
I mean,
wasn't
he's
a good
scary
idea.
during the day, too.
Right.
So, I
And-
mean,
We were walking out and kids were like heading out to recess and they'd turn and they'd jump and yeah, so
Just a cardboard cutout.
just a
kids.
cardboard cutout.
all right. So, on another note, Tom wasn't always just around for scaring people. He has also been a part of our back to school professional development, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. We always had like a big first back to school day meeting that our admin always put on, and there was always a theme.
They went big. I remember the principal coming into my room and saying, "Hey, so can we borrow Tom for a bit?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
One year there was a baseball theme, so we like walked into the meeting and he was there like dressed up in his baseball uniform and
Was he our coach? Was that what the purpose
Yeah, what was the
was?
purpose?
I don't remember.
He
I
didn't
just
coach us
remember
very
team?
well. He just stared at us.
He just stared at us. He was just there.
Did he have a
Decoration.
whistle?
I'm
And a
sure he
clipboard,
did.
maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember. I just remember he was actually wearing the son of our principal's baseball uniform. right?
His jersey.
That's right.
His jersey, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good memory. I remember one year we had a Mission Impossible theme.
Yeah.
And at our back to school meeting, we had a like scavenger hunt where we had to go around and learn
Yeah, we
about,
were
like,
kind of
different
upset
things
about that one, huh?
There
part
were
of the building.
big feelings in the room because they kidnapped Tom.
Don't mess with our
That was our
Toms.
mission. We had to
Straight
find Tom.
kidnapped. And then I remember when we found Tom, he was in the deepest, darkest part of the school.
And he had like legit ropes on him. And,
He
like,
was tied up.
They were
for
committed.
sure.
They were committed to
poor Tom.
the mission.
Could you imagine, like, if you were the person that had a cardboard cutout of you and you knew that it was, like, being used to scare people?
Sorry, Tom Hanks, if you're listening. We
really
love
do
you.
like you.
And that you got tied up and put in a dark place. I just think that's funny.
So then after so many years, we were like, gosh, Tom's been around a while. Maybe we need to make him an official staff member. So it was school picture day, and we were at lunch, and the camera people were right there in the library, and we said, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time that Tom have a staff badge. Yeah. So we went and got Tom, and we took him into the library, and
They were all in.
they didn't take much convincing. We got him his little picture made and his
Did he
little
hold
badge.
still?
He did. He held still. He gave a nice smile.
One take. One take.
Awesome.
And then I also may have purchased a picture package of his photos. And
Where
then,
are these photos? Are they like on your wall with your family?
well, no. Okay. Well, I distributed some wallet size out to my favorite people because I thought everybody needs a little picture of Tom. And then the rest of them are in my desk drawer at work.
You need to get them out of your
Yes.
desk drawer. Nobody puts Tom in their desk drawer.
So, Allison, do you still have the original Tom, and what's he been up to?
I do have the original Tom still. I saw that he was used again this year with the first grade team when they had their Polar Express party. When I was walking last week with my second graders back from music, we walked past the room that's across from the lounge, and one of my students goes, "Oh my gosh, there's a guy standing in there." And I looked in, and it was Tom, who's still standing up from the party that they had in December. So he's still around. He's still around.
Well, I love that he is still scaring people, kids, teachers, whoever. Celeste, Tom brought so much joy to us when our principal left a couple of years ago. We got her a gift, right?
We sure did. We knew how much she loved Tom and how he brought all of us so much joy. And so as a part of her, hey, good luck at your new school gift, we gifted her a brand new Tom so that she could spread joy and, well, maybe screams at her new school. And so, Kelsey, you're there with her, and has Tom made any appearances there yet?
Actually, he has. As a matter of fact, this past week, he showed up in our staff bathroom. Awesome. I may have put him there, and then I did the exact same thing Allison did, and I scared myself.
I love it.
And then one day after a staff meeting, my principal and I were there finishing up, and most of the staff had gone, and so we were like, oh, we gotta go hide Tom somewhere. So we put him in a teacher's classroom right by her door. She comes in to give her a little scare, a little fun, but she didn't get scared. What? I know. We didn't get her, but she said she passed it along and put it in her teammate's classroom. And she didn't get scared either. So I don't know what's happening. But then they
People are
moved it
being
to somebody else's room.
desensitized.
So
Yeah.
he's making the rounds in our school. And we're all having some fun with it. So
That's good. I love that we now have two Toms, and he's still in our schools, bringing joy and
Tom's
laughter.
a twin now.
Tom's
Tom
a
Hanks,
twin.
you're a twin.
Yeah, I love that he's bringing joy and laughter and screams to all of the staff among the school.
Well, I love how one simple but fun idea of making learning a little bit more exciting for our students has turned into something so much bigger. And it's still going strong at our old school with Allison and at Kelsey's new school. We had him at our school for a little bit at our new school, Celeste. And of course, we did scare a few teachers, didn't we?
We did. We got a few. It was awesome.
But I have one question. When we're focusing on standards, following the curriculum, and delivering lessons that help our students grow,
Amazing lessons. Just the best.
how do we intentionally infuse fun into the process? What inspires your creative ideas for making learning engaging and joyful?
Ooh, good question.
Whoa.
Getting deep here. I've always said if I'm not having fun, then my students probably aren't having fun either. So I would always try to find things that would make learning fun for me to teach, which in return, my hope was that it would be engaging and fun for my students as well. And then I feel like once you see one idea, it kind of spurs some other ideas. And so take Tom Hanks, for example. He's fun, right?
Yeah.
He brought an element of joy to our building. And I remember us sitting around and being like, gosh, you know what, though? He's kind of formal in his conductor suit, right, with his mustache. He's really more of like a holiday cardboard cutout. So I wonder, what other cardboard cutouts could we get
Just a normal thought.
Yes.
that might tie into our teaching? right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes they would fit into our curriculum. Like, I think I might have purchased a giant bear.
Definitely.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one was scary.
That was
actually.
scary. I think he was even taller than Tom.
He's huge.
Yeah.
I think he was like
huge.
7 feet. He was huge. And I remember one time putting him in your room with a little thought bubble that said like, "Happy birthday, Celeste." And I had balloons and stuff.
You tied
hanging.
balloons to his hands. Yeah, it was amazing.
Birthday. I don't know. I was trying to be creative. But either way, he was there celebrating.
He
you
was,
know.
and he fit nicely with my camping theme. So, it was all tied in for fun. And then this year, at our new school, we had each grade level pick a theme to decorate their pod with. And the 3rd grade team chose Elf. And so the kids made a life-size cardboard cutout of Elf. But my favorite part is that his body is like big, and then his head is maybe just a little too small for his
But I
really
love
cute.
that the kids got involved. Like, how fun is that?
Yeah, and then maybe sometimes the cardboard cutouts were just for pure fun.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, we might have a miniature cardboard cutout of our assistant principal when he was. I think there's a picture of him dressed in a grass skirt with
Yes.
some coconuts, and we thought this picture would make for a great cardboard cutout.
He had an Aloha shirt on too.
He did. He did. It was like a PG. It was a PG.
Okay.
Maybe G even.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes. So we gifted him with a little miniature cardboard cutout of a picture of himself.
That's what
Oh, I
everybody
love
wants.
He actually loves it. It's in his
Daughter's bedroom. Yeah. Because she had an Aloha Hawaiian theme going on, and why not have a picture of your dad in a grass skirt? Or a cardboard
Why
cutout.
It's a little weird, but to each their own.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I think just living in the moment and being spontaneous like that is just where it all comes from. I mean, I could have easily put Tom back in his box and shoved him away and gotten back focused on my standards, which I still did teach that day. It's not like I don't focus on standards, but I took just a moment to be spontaneous, and I put him in the bathroom and then
just
moved him
Went from there. And
into the school. And so
yeah.
I think just being open to having those moments of spontaneity and living in the moment. And
Finding joy where you don't expect it. Like in the
Right.
bathroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's one of the ways I just try to be in the moment and not take my job too seriously.
Yeah, for example, like tonight, Tom is with us.
Hey, Tom.
And
It's not the real Tom.
he is standing right here. I need to return him to our old principal, which is Kelsey's principal at the new school, because I borrowed him for our Polar Express at our new school. And so, perfect opportunity, right? So I set him up at the bottom of the stairs, and
Yes, you did.
he might have scared everyone as they came around the corner.
Sure did.
He even scared my son when my son came downstairs to grab something, and he's like, "Oh!" He didn't scream, which that would have been fun, but
I may have screamed. I'm just going to be real there.
You didn't punch him, though.
I didn't.
That
Hey, I
has
was restrained.
happened. I have done that in the past.
you punched
Yes.
me and Tom, is what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Well, I have loved being in all of your classrooms and seeing how you have fun even with your everyday lessons. It's about taking what you're focusing on, like what standard you're working on, and expanding on it and providing those small opportunities to make that learning fun for your students. And it doesn't have to be like big elaborate things. And I remember, Celeste, being in your room and you would do a sight word exercise. You would have the kids pick
Yeah, we
different
would.
like exercises, and they had to spell the word and do jumping jacks or squats.
Yeah, most of the time it was because I needed to get up and moving. So I'm like, hey, kids, come on, let's do some jumping jacks.
I love that.
Yeah, Celeste, those kind of moments where you just have fun with your kiddos, having them do the exercises, but also getting something out of it as well, that it is actually learning, that they don't realize that they're learning, is always a bonus, right? But as we were sitting here talking, I kind of had a random thought.
Let's hear it. I love this.
Okay, you guys know me, right? So I do have a quick question. You know, Tom is such a huge celebrity, and he has spent so much time with us that he doesn't even know.
I feel like we know him. We know him so well.
But he doesn't say a whole lot.
No, he's
like
kinda quiet.
he's just a quiet guy. But let's just pretend that he had the ability to speak. What do you think he would give us teachers for advice? What do you think he would say?
Oh man.
Great question.
Yeah. Let me think
I don't
about
know,
that.
just a random. Yeah, like think of the movies he's been in. What do you think he would say to us?
I
You
got
one?
something, yeah.
You got one?
I can't say it like him, but teaching is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh,
Remember?
that's true.
Perfect.
Forrest Gump.
there you go.
And I think really it's about embracing the unpredictability of teaching. Every day is different and every student is unique. You got to find joy and surprises in all the challenges that come our way.
That's so true.
Man, that's a good one. Okay, so I went more of the Toy Story route.
Okay.
And I was thinking, reach for the sky. But not in like a bandit, like Wild Wild West situation.
Okay.
Think of it more like we encourage our students to dream big and aim high, and then that we have the power to help kids believe in themselves and that they can achieve anything.
Well, the first thing that popped into my head was, are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in teaching.
Oh yeah, from A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
movie.
I mean, there's definitely been times we've cried,
I would
right?
say there is crying in teaching.
Yeah. You know, but that's okay. We're all there for each other. We give each other hugs, and Kristen gives us
I laugh.
awkward hugs.
Side hug.
She gives us the shoulder.
She gives us the shoulder, but we help each other through that. It's okay if we have our days.
You are
But-
improving, Kristen.
I've
we
been
believe in you.
practicing. I'm doing better.
Yeah, and I think that's true. We do have our ups and downs. But when you said A League of Their Own, it reminded me when he's like the coach. Tom Hanks says right after Dottie says that she's going to leave and get married, and he says that's fine if you want to go have babies and do that. That's fine. But I thought that you were a baseball player as
Oh
well.
yeah, I remember that scene.
And she says, well, it just got hard. And then he says, well, it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great, because whenever we come through those hard times, those are the things that we remember, and those are the things that we learn from, and we fail forward, and we get through the hard times and come out stronger. So I think that he would probably say something like that to us too if he could talk, right, Tom? He just said right. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard that, but he did say yes.
If
for
he's
sure.
talking, I'm out of here.
Oh, that's such great advice. I do love that. Do you think Tom will ever hear this episode?
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if he does? Should we tag him on socials and see
Oh
it?
my god.
And he'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to meet these teachers.
Oh my gosh.
Be
Could you
a
imagine?
guest, and like a real guest, like a human guest, not
You
just
guys,
a-
I would
the
be
cardboard
sitting here
cutout.
going, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Like,
You wouldn't talk. You'd
I
be
wouldn't.
like,
I would just be staring at him going, hi.
Hi.
The day a celebrity came on our podcast.
Take it away, Tom, because we can't talk.
yes, we've got big dreams for this podcast.
One day. One day.
Oh yeah.
Someday.
All right, listeners on the loose, we've mentioned before the importance of finding joy and laughter at our jobs. And we have been so lucky in our schools that our administrators also see the importance of infusing fun into our challenging jobs. They've laughed along with us at our pranks and shenanigans. Okay, well, maybe
Yeah, hold on.
maybe not all of them, but most of them. And I feel like this has really demonstrated to us how leadership can set the tone of lightheartedness and positivity in our schools.
Yeah.
This mindset has shown that joy and professionalism can not only coexist, but can also thrive together, creating an environment where both staff and students feel inspired and connected. So we just want to shout out all of our amazing administrators out there. Thanks for embracing us and loving us and putting up with our shenanigans and seeing the value in making work a fun place to be.
And not being
Thank
too
you.
mad at us
We
when
love
we did do
you.
things, not writing us up. What else?
Letting us come back the next day.
Yeah, just give, yeah. And I know that type of work environment is where I shine. I know that you guys too.
Yep.
I find that I want to be successful. I'm motivated to be at work. I'm not asking to go home all the time. I might have done that
Wait.
a few times.
Kristen asks to go
All the
home
time.
all the time.
Yes, I did. I
It's
used
cloudy.
to.
I think I need to go home. Oh, that's a raindrop falling. I think I need to call Chad to come pick me up.
Yeah, and having a culture of happiness starts with modeling. When staff feel comfortable, and then it creates that environment where everybody, including the students, are feeling safe, and they can laugh, and they can be engaged, and they can just feel like it's okay to let loose and enjoy their learning as well.
Yeah, ultimately it's about finding those moments to spark joy, not just for your students, but for ourselves and for our colleagues. So Whether it's a life-size celebrity cutout or something spontaneous, don't be afraid to embrace a little fun and silliness in your day. So now it's your turn, listeners on the loose. What creative ways have you brought laughter and connection to your school? Share your stories with us on Instagram at Teachers on the Loose or on X at TeachersOTL, and let's keep spreading the joy.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, laughter is the best part of any workday, especially when it involves a celebrity at your school.
All right. And don't be afraid to let loose and have fun with your coworkers and find spontaneity in your day.
So join us next week when we talk about the day that we became real rappers.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo diggity. No doubt.
This is teachers on the loose.
Yo, baby pops, yeah, you come here, give me a kiss. Better make it faster, or else I'm gonna get.
Whoa.
You're supposed to cut me off, and then I
Allison.
don't. I know, right?
That's amazing.
No, it's not.